Hey, do you have any opinions on Fortnite or gaming in general, or really honestly anything, but mostly Fortnite that you would like to share? Well, today, that is what this video is all about. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to Talk at Clen, everybody, where I ask you guys to jump into the Discord server, which if you are new here, by the way, pin comment description down below. We would love to have you there and help make videos just like this. And I ask you guys to tell me something, talk at me, give me an opinion on something. That's what the video is about. We are going to get into it right now, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the video. Let's start off with people hate too much on attachments. If you seriously don't like them, go to a vault and take them all off. To be honest with you, I think that they are a little bit too hated, but at the same time, like, you kind of do need the attachments to improve the game a little bit. I think it's okay to hate the attachments personally, but people hate too much on attachments. I probably agree with that. The actual biggest issue with the shop is that the layout randomizes every time that you open it. I actually didn't know that. Does it do that? That is a pretty big issue with the shop if it does randomize. The item shop's been so bad lately that I've never really paid attention to it, to be honest with you. Hot take, the extra skin colors you get from this crew skin every month doesn't entice me to become a new crew member if I wasn't already one. Everything else you get from being a crew member on Fortnite is way more worth it. Well, I agree with this. I don't like, the styles are really cool, but that's kind of just like a bonus. Like you said, it doesn't entice me to want to be a crew member. I haven't been a crew member in a very, very long time. I think the last one I bought was Southpaw. I could be wrong on that. Regardless, like, that's definitely the last one that I've really liked. It's just, I need the skin set to be like really unique, and they haven't done that in a long time. But honestly, if somebody has been subscribed to the crew for a long time, I think the new styles are great. It's just the fact that they've had the same styles, that one I don't really like too much, but I agree with this. To be honest, I feel like people hating on the attachments too much because they ain't bad at all. Some can be bad, but these attachments would be so cool to keep around, especially for the old loot pool that will get some changes just for the attachments. Like, for example, you could have a combat SMG and you can put weapon attachments on it, anything that you could think of. I'm really interested to see how Epic Games goes about making the attachments come on with the other weapons, or if they're bringing back old weapons. I feel like there's a possibility that they just won't have attachments at all. Like, for example, the lock-on pistol, you can't put any attachments on it right now. I want to see if Epic Games brings these new guns back, and maybe they, like, I want to see if they have attachments or if they don't, because that's gonna affect the game big time moving forward. I'm of the opinion, I've said this before on the channel, I like the idea of having the base AR, SMG, shotgun being modified if you would like it to, and then whenever like the old weapons come back from rotation, I would like it if they remain the same. Personally, I'd love to know what you guys think about that down below. Something I noticed about chapter 4 that they should do moving on is that each season had an anime collab in it with a new mythic. As a huge anime fan myself, I would love to see new ones come, and I know many other people would too. Anime collabs always makes the game more interesting with new quests and items that can be very useful at times, such as the Nimbus Cloud and ODM gear. And the biggest thing about these anime mythics are the ones that destroy everything and do tons of damage. It's so fun using them, and it doesn't have to be in competitive match so people won't complain. Examples of anime I want in the game is Bleach, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Demon Slayer, and more Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, and Naruto. Dude, I so agree with this. The Deku Smash is unironically one of my favorite mythics to ever come to Fortnite. Just to be in a house and have it be completely demolished at some point is hilarious to me. I love it. Never got mad that you got killed. And honestly, I would argue with you that it isn't overpowered. I really would argue with that, because you're stuck screaming in the air for so long and you are gonna get beamed so often if that's the case. But I agree with this. I don't know about every season if I would like this. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but that's tough because I do enjoy the TMNT collab that we had. If it wasn't anime, we wouldn't have TMNT. So there's good and bad with this, but I would like to see more anime collabs in general come. I really enjoyed that reaction stream you did with the squad. I would like it a lot if it was a regular part of your streams. I'm assuming that you're talking about the Dilly reaction with Clark, Dag, and JoJo. If that's the case, I really enjoyed doing it. It's too bad the other guys like haven't proposed the idea, but I mean, guys, if that's something that you want to see from the streams more often as reaction streams, just if enough of you say that's something that you would like to see on the channel, because honestly, I did get a lot of nice comments on that, but like, I don't know about, of course, like there's around 10,000 people who come in and out of the channel. So if that's something you guys would like to see moving forward, let me know and I can pitch the idea to the other guys. So I enjoy doing it myself. Hey, I'm here for whatever you guys want to do pretty much. Honestly, Fortnite is quickly falling out of my rotation. Ever since the start of chapter 4, the game doesn't feel like Fortnite. I would have to quit already if OG season didn't happen. This game keeps making questionable decisions, like ditching the OG loot pool in favor for making subpar knockoffs like the Havoc Shotgun or the Hammer AR. None of them ever feel so good, and especially after using the OG loot pool again, they're all kind of clunky. The Havoc shotgun especially, never liked it when it was in the game, always thought it was too OP while simultaneously being the clunkiest weapon in the game. It never felt satisfying to use, especially with the release of Chapter 4 and 5, performance is just awful. In Season OG at the start, I was using high settings, which were the same ones I used in Chapter 4, and the game was running at 80 to 90 frames per second, whereas Chapter 4 was running at 55 to 70 FPS. Same season, I decided to try and turn off the ray tracing and all that, and the game started running at 120 to 44 FPS. I have an FPS cap to avoid screen tearing, whereas Chapter 4, when I did that, the game ran at 80 to 90 frames per second. Now in Chapter 5, no change to the same settings from OG, and it's back to 80-90 range. I don't get how the performance is that bad. Another thing I would like to mention is a new art style. Even back in Chapter 2 and 3, I've always preferred the Chapter 1 art style. However, I didn't mind the Chapter 2 and 3 look, seeing as it's still like Fortnite. By Chapter 4, it didn't look like Fortnite anymore. The gameplay is still fun, but the performance decrease makes it unplayable. So, I'm not honestly too knowledgeable about the game's performance, but I would imagine it's because of the new graphics. That'd be my assumption. I could be totally wrong on that, but here's the thing. The only thing that I definitely disagree with you with is the... Well, I agree and disagree with you because I agree that the OG season loot pool was way more fun than the one we have right now. I agree with that, but you brought up the Havoc shotgun and the Hammer AR. Those weapons are, like, they are way better. The Havoc shotgun was more consistent. Same with the Hammer AR. They are two of the best guns to ever come out of the game. Not most fun. I'm saying, like, objectively being some of the best ARs and shotguns that have come out, but for the art style, that's all subjective. It seems that most people would prefer the Chapter 1 graphics. I'm at a crossroads myself. I don't really care because I can appreciate both graphics myself, but for the performance, I understand that definitely being frustrating, but at the end of the day, going back to 80 and 90 frames per second, while it is a little bit of a downgrade for you personally, it's still pretty good to run. It's better than consoles, right? Well, I mean, not every console, but you get the point. There's some positives to look at, but of course, if Fortnite is falling out of your rotation, absolutely nothing wrong with that. We all like playing different games, right? I actually like the more realistic, gritty look of Chapter 5, and I think it won't be a problem in the long run because it's really the only theme of Chapter 5 Season 1 and Chapter 5 Season 2 onwards. It will probably be less like COD. I think the realistic tactical theme would have been better received if it was a regular season rather than a Season 1 because it's giving people the false idea that it's a theme of the chapter, not the theme of the season, like the night theme in Chapter 4 Season 1. Now, you could very well be right, but we don't know if that is a false belief right now, because they could definitely keep this kind of theme going on throughout different seasons. But this is something where we'll really have to kind of wait and see. And for the graphics, like I said, I do like how it looks right now, but at the same time, the loot pool's a problem for me. The loot pool is what's making it not feel like Fortnite for me, but of course, we all like our different things, right? Nothing wrong with this respectable take here. Clark is secretly, maybe not so secret based, but I love it, dude. Hey, something I really respect about the guy is he definitely says what's on his mind. He definitely says what comes from his heart, and honestly, that is something that I am not willing to do on YouTube. Again, asking you to not draw any assumptions about me because I like to play it safe for the most part, right? But that is absolutely very respectable about him, and that's honestly why he's seeing so much success. Probably the dude is very real, he's authentic, he's a great content creator. We need a new zombie mode that's just like MW3 Zombies, where you can go around the map, kill zombies, and do some missions for rewards. Dude, I have been saying this for so long now. Fortnite can make their own transit game mode, and it would be one of the greatest things to ever come into gaming. I've went on like huge tangents about that before, mainly too in the complete guide to fixing Fortnite, which you should check out, by the way. Fantastic video, but like, man, imagine if they had a very dedicated COD like zombies mode. The game's trying to be like COD already. The game's been trying to make it more realistic like Call of Duty. Why are we missing out from the zombies? That Fortnite has so much potential for that, man. I'm tired of hearing why everyone is quitting Fortnite. No need to announce your departure. This isn't an airport. That's actually pretty good. I like that. But yeah, you know what? It is. I mean, like, I don't know if this was a joke, to be honest with you. Well, it was probably a joke with some truth in it, but there is some merit to this because, like, I don't get the big deal. I think the same thing where it's not like what we were talking about, like, for the purpose of talk at Clen, where we just had another comment say, like, Fortnite's falling out of my rotation, but there's so many people who are just, like, make this big giant deal about quitting their game. I just don't get it personally. Like, just quit the game. No need to announce your departure. This ain't an airport. Possible hint towards a huge Star Wars update. As we know, Find the Force event was for Chapter 4 Season 2, was massively successful and attracted a lot of attention, especially around the Star Wars fanbase. I'd argue out of all the mini Battle Pass events we got during Chapter 4, this one was easily the best and most successful due to the community heavily requesting more Star Wars characters centered around the prequels, not to mention seeing creators want a fully fleshed out Star Wars season similar to Chapter 2 Season 4's Marvel season. However, while I don't think we're on the verge of getting a Star Wars season, I do think we will definitely see another huge Star Wars event, at the very least this May the 4th, and there are some reasons for this. 1. The Timebrella. The Timebrella has 2 dates for it as seen on top of June 8th, 2068. However, more importantly, May 4th, 2024, the closer to the 2 dates, we do know the time machine was a massive hint towards what we'd be seeing in the future, and every date shown on the time machine held some form of significance to Fortnite or the future of the game, leading me to believe that this is the date is no exception, especially considering how close it is to the date, not to mention May 4th is considered Star Wars Day, and Epic Games is well aware on how much their community loves Star Wars. 2. As of Chapter 5, almost all weapons besides shotguns have turned into bullet projectile weapons. While this may not seem significant at first, Epic Games plans months in advance, and if they were planning a huge Star Wars update, no doubt they will be adding more blaster weapons. Given that all the blaster weapons are also fire projectiles, perhaps this is another reason why Epic changed all the weapons to bullet drops, so when this new Star Wars update drops, the change from using a SCAR to a blaster rifle will feel a lot less jarring. I want to pause there actually, because they were always projectile weapons, weren't they? That's why they sucked, right? Oh my god, never thought about that. Anyways, 3. We still have 2 unused lightsabers. In the files, we have had 2 unused lightsabers for a while now. One of them could have possibly been Ahsoka's. I don't think that's the case considering that the lightsabers are both purple and red, as well as both of them having different and new force abilities, that being Force Lightning, and for the red saber what sounds like a mind trick ability for the purple saber, neither of which were used for Ahsoka. If this were the case, these lightsabers stayed the same colors in the files, then there are 4 possible candidates, for who these lightsabers can belong to, that being Count Dooku, Darth Sidious for the first red since they are both using Force Lightning, Mace Windu for the purple saber, and possibly the most unlikely of the 4, Darth Raven, since he both uses a red and purple lightsaber, can use both of these force abilities. However, I believe the latter are more likely, especially since we don't have many prequel villains in the game like Jango, Sidious, or Grievous, possibly even a B1 battle droid with multiple versions like they did with the clones. However, the last question is, why would Epic do another big Star Wars event like this since we've already had Find the Force? Well, besides money, the wider Star Wars community has not had any mainline multiplayer Star Wars games since Battlefront 2 had its support cut in 2020, leaving behind a huge void in which most players have been unable to fill. I believe this is a big reason Find the Force was so successful, since it brought a lot of Star Wars content to creators to the game and had people talking about it. Dude, these actually make a ton of sense, and the biggest thing for me, definitely 100%, is the Timebrella. I actually forgot that there were 2 unused lightsabers because I remember how everybody was looking forward to the Force Lightning, right? This all honestly makes a lot of sense. The only thing that I disagree with is I think it's a huge stretch about the blasters being projectile weapons, but it's still an interesting thing to bring up. Regardless, I hope we get a full Star Wars season, especially you never know what could come in the future with Disney partnering now, right? Maybe we could have another bigger thing. I know we already had the Galactus season, but this would be incredible because if it was the best 2-week pass, it would be between that and the heist, but that was my personal favorite, I believe, the Star Wars one. The Force Mythics were just so much fun, and it was perfect for bringing Star Wars into the game. We've had Star Wars and lightsabers before, but last time they did Find the Force, it was just so perfect. While this completely makes sense, I think just the success of that alone just warrants for a part 2 for this. I've always wanted to see a full collab season like the Marvel season, but filled with different mythics from different IPs, and same with the Battle Pass. I thought that it'd be cool to embrace the collabs for the community instead of them just being disappointed with the ones in the past. They might like it if they know it's coming. That's an interesting take, actually. They might like it more if they know it's coming, but I know like people have thrown that idea around. I've wanted to see a full collab season before. I honestly, as long as the season's fun, I'm here for it. I could care less even if it's full of IPs that I don't even know, right? But the Marvel season was just such a success, and like we were talking about with the Find the Force event, it was a success too. I feel like Epic Games is getting their collabs better and better. These mini battle passes have been fantastic. This leads the question, this is something I should have brought up with the last point, is do you think we'll ever get another collab season, or are we just going to continue with these mini 2-week events, because those are awfully successful as well? But hey, I'd be down to see another full collab season as well. Everyone is excited at the possibility of a Fortnite movie made by Disney now that the partnership has been announced. I am not. Disney is going to completely ruin any story they take on from Fortnite like they did with everything else they took over. The entire purpose of the story of Jones and Jenna will be one big political push. Ooh, man. Oh boy. I mean, I touched on this in my video a little bit, and again, I need you guys to, I say this all the time, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself for those of you who watch most videos. I just really need to make sure you guys don't make any assumptions about me, but it's a little difficult to argue that Disney would not do this. The question is, are they going to focus and actually make a good thing, or is it just going to be a political push? Because you know that the political push will definitely be part of their strategy here. I just hope that they don't make it their entire thing. I'll point you back to what I pointed back in a couple other videos, and like I was talking about the Clenema channel, Elementals. There was a clear political message they wanted to push, but at the end of the day, they focused on making a good movie. Left me satisfied. I don't care. That's where I'm at with it. So, hey, please, Disney, if you do make something, if they leave Disney the ones responsible for making a new Fortnite movie, I just hope that they focus on making it good. You know, I can hope for the best. I hope Epic will actually add augments back, at least in a future season. For most part, they were kind of whatever, but when they tease us like this that they're coming in a future update, it just stings, especially since they seem much more interesting this time. I know, dude. I know. All the leaked augments that they've been working on, they looked so much fun like when they were first introduced in Chapter 4, Season 1. I don't know if they're going to come back. It's very interesting that they're what did they say? They're reevaluating the idea of augments, right? So I don't know, man. I would imagine they would come back, but I really thought they added a ton to the game, but I'm always shocked to believe that half the player base is like okay with it not being in the game. But hey, you know what? Nothing you can do there. You can't force people to like them, right? Since the talk of collabs and other skins from battle passes have been a heated topic on if they should come to the item shop again since people couldn't get them, I want to present to you my opinion and factually correct take on how battle passes and collab skins within them should be handled going forward, while also giving each side a healthy solution to this problem and why this topic has been most likely been a big topic of discussion recently. The controversy. As of recently, a lot of players have been calling for Epic to stop putting collabs in the battle passes and bring them to the item shop for people who didn't play enough during the time that they were in the past to get them. However, on the opposite spectrum, the other side of the community does not want these older skins to return, as they believe it will ruin part of what makes a skin good, and that it also would diminish the achievement of unlocking the skin playing through old battle passes. However, I believe that there's a good reason why this controversy has suddenly appeared again when it has, and that reason being the massive influx of players that have returned for Fortnite OG. I believe these returning players are particularly the reason for this controversy has struck up again in conversation, the reason being that a lot of these players likely stopped playing after Chapter 1 or somewhere further down the line only for them to be or returned and finally realize what they have been missing out on, either because they were playing other games, calling the game dead, or simply not having enough time to complete the pass in order to unlock their favorite characters, which is why those players and others are calling for Epic to put out battle pass skins in the shop. However, this causes a major problem for Epic, and I'm going to explain why this would be an overall negative for the game and how this problem can be solved with an easy fix. The problem. The issue with doing this is very simple, and it doesn't stem from just players wanting to be greedy and owning rare items. There are definitely people like that out there. The problem lies with just how much player interaction Epic would lose if they did this. Yes, it would absolutely make them a lot of money. However, it would also heavily impact how much time players put into Fortnite, as well as have other players question if they should even buy a battle pass moving forward. For example, if Epic started selling older battle pass items, this would send an immediate message to the more local player base that spending your time in grinding through the pass is not worth it as you once thought, and this would affect how much time players put into the game, knowing that their skin have been grinding for days or could come to the shop in the future at any time, making their time wasted, and less player interaction with the game will result in Epic losing money, since players aren't invested enough time into the game to spend money. Yes, you might get a massive boom in revenue from returning or new players from buying old battle pass skins, but what's not to say they won't just leave immediately after that once they've left once before? What's to say that they're not going to do so again? The solution, in my opinion, the solution of fixing this issue could be a very simple and straightforward, while also keeping both sides responsibly happy while not damaging player interaction. It could also lead to more playtime overall. To start, I believe that skins from battle passes should absolutely not return under any circumstances, as Epic's main priority is to keep their loyal fans happy. They're the ones that keep the game mostly where it is at a lot of the time. However, I believe moving forward, battle passes should be given one minor change that could fix a lot of these problems, is when you buy a battle pass, it does not expire until you have fully completed it up to a tier 150. For example, let's say that Chapter 5 Season 2's battle pass drops and you know you will not have time to finish a battle pass with this new change. All you need to do is buy the old battle pass from now on so you can complete the pass at your own pace without it ever expiring, and whenever a new season's battle pass drops, you can swap with both passes and decide which pass you can spend your time fully unlocking. However, to keep things fair with those that do not want old items to return, my idea is that you can only purchase the Season 2 battle pass up until Season 3's comes out. That way, people still know who has played in what season, and what people are unlocking skins from a past season are not those who have played at a time but were unable to finish the pass. I also believe the only items that players cannot earn once a season's battle pass is finished are the super styles, as I believe super styles, are Epic's way of showing off what players are loyal to the game and put the most time into it. However, this doesn't stop players from unlocking all the skins in the battle pass that they didn't get time to finish. As for old collabs, regardless of your returning player or new to the game, I've just got to accept that there's that not everything in life will be given to you, and that's just something you've got to accept, and sometimes rarity is what makes things special, and they should stay that way if you return to the game and missed out on Darth Vader or Spider-Man. At the end of the day, it was your decision. However, Epic has already shown that they will reskin old battle pass skins that others missed out on, and I believe Epic continues to do that more often, while also implementing the changes I've talked about above. For the most part, this controversy should be mostly dealt with. And okay, I'm done now. I was honestly, throughout reading that, I was on board, then I was like, okay, but what about this? And then you answered that. So I completely agree with everything that you said, Tizo. It's a very interesting idea to be able to complete battle passes after, but I believe with all of the controversy stirring up around this right now, this is the best solution for it, because I'm on team keep it exclusive, because that's why everybody wanted the battle pass. But even if you were to have them returning to the shop, you're exactly right. People could just leave the game again. And I was so set on the idea of super styles remaining within the season. I like that a lot. I think the super styles, like, it would suck for somebody to get gold Peely after somebody grinding so long to get that gold Peely skin, because once you do see something like a gold Peely, you're like, oh my god, you know, because remember how ridiculous that was to unlock. But I agree for everything here, and especially the last part, for old collabs, you can't get everything that you want in life. That is very true. But, and again, like I was saying, as I was reading that, I was like, okay, but Epic Games, like, for Spider-Man, they just made Spider-Man 0. They made Miles Morales. There are always other reskins. So I like the exclusivity of things that come in the battle pass, and it does suck for collabs not being in the battle pass. I still don't want collabs to be in the battle pass. I miss my secret skins. I miss that a lot. But at the end of the day, this is a very good fix for it, in my opinion. But speaking of fixes, guys, I have to ask you, do you think there needs to be a fix to Fortnite in general? If you do, check out this complete guide to fixing Fortnite. It'll be on the screen for you right now. Thank you so much for watching the video, everybody. Take care.